Thank you, Rabbi Helfman, and thank you for your kind words this morning. Shabbat Shalom. Much has been written about Rabbi Sergio Bergman and his many accomplishments as an Argentinian-born politician, social activist, community leader, teacher, and even as Pope Francis's rabbi. He has been named one of the world's 100 most influential leaders in the fight against climate change, has received numerous international distinctions and awards, and has authored 7 books. Rabbi Bergman became the first ever rabbi elected to public office in Argentina, and in 2015 was named Minister of the Environment and Sustainable Development under President Mauricio Macri, a position in which he served until last November. While Rabbi Bergman is indeed all of these things and more, I have come to know him as an exceptional partner in leading the World Union for Progressive Judaism and as a thoughtful, ethical friend with deep intellect, unwavering faith, and great compassion. He's charismatic, visionary, and his leadership has and will continue to engage and strengthen our people. Throughout this pandemic, Rabbi Bergman has been quarantined in his home in Buenos Aires, where he lives with his wife and 4 children. Even so, he has managed to connect, speak, and teach virtually at many of our communities and synagogues around the world. Rabbi Bergman, this Shabbat, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to my community and my spiritual home. Thank you so much for joining us here in Toronto at Holy Blossom Temple.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Carole, for your kind words. Also to Rabbi Jordan, and especially to Yael that invited me to be part of this special Shabbat. For me, it's an honor, a privilege. And she offered me to link some portion on teaching from the Torah with the World Union mission. And then these opportunities to do that. In the beginning, we heard, and I also know that was part of the Torah study this morning, Acharei Amagefa, when the plague was over. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ve'el Eliasar ben Aaron HaKohen le'emor, Seu et Rosh, kol edat bnei Israel, miben 20 shana umala leveit avotam. The Eternal One said to Moses and to Eliezer, son of Aaron, the priest, take a census of the whole Israelite company from the age of 20 years up by their ancestral house. That means, like we heard from Rabbi Jordan, one of the missions of the World Union is to connect. And we pray and we are waiting when the plague was over, when we finished with the corona, to connect around the world, the liberal and progressive extended family. We are working, we are dreaming about Connection 21. In a personal meeting and gathering in Jerusalem in our headquarters, or maybe in a virtual platform. But for us, it's very important to fulfill in the present what the Torah teaches. The census means that there are not only numbers. We have names. We have every tribe of Israel with names. And for the World Union, every Jew, every community, every language, every country counts for us. We need to bring them into the census. That means big numbers, small numbers, every Jewish progressive life matters for us. And this is the strength of the World Union, that we are not a top-down organization. For us, our mission is to empower, to collaborate, to connect, to build a platform, to have the strength of the Jewish people around the world. This is the Jewish diversity. This is part of our strength, because we are not survivors, we are resilient people. Part of our resiliency comes that we are around the world. And then Connections 21 is one of the programs that we are working so hard, but so comfortable with the leadership from your community for Toronto, for the Holy Blessing Temple. We have our chair, Carole, with her role model, Rabbi Jordan, working on that. But the Torah said that it's not only an issue that you need to know how belong to the community. Also, you need to be concerned about the continuity. And here we are talking about 20 years old, the youth, the continuity. Also, Rabbi Jordan is working with us in the youth community For us, one of the main issues is how we can strengthen the continuity and the young people, the next leadership. And this leadership is part of our work around the world. We read in this portion in the Torah, reading this, Vaidaber Moshe el Adonai lemor. This is really important because it's not like we always read that is Vayomer Adonai el Moshe. Here is Vaidaber Moshe el Adonai lemor. Moses spoke to the Eternal and said, let the Eternal One, source of the bread of all flesh, appoint someone over the community, who shall go out before them and come in before them, and who shall take them out and bring them in, so the Eternal's community may not be like sheep that have not shepherd. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, קח לך את יהושע בן נון, איש אשר רוח בו ושמחת ידך עליו. And the Eternal One answered Moses, single out Yeshua, son of Nun, an inspired individual, and lay your hand upon him. Your community is sources of leadership. And then we are so grateful for all this leadership. Like we heard from Rabbi Jordan, the Butels, Austin, Anani, Rabbi Dov Marmor, Les Rothschild. And for me, it's very, very important to acknowledge the leadership of Carole Sterling. Also in this portion of the Torah, we learn about the daughter of Zelophehad. The 5 daughters come to Moses to say, we the women have rights. We also need to receive part of the land of Israel. And this is not only right now an issue of sensitivity of gender. This is justice. This is a main issue in our Torah. You have your Rabbi Yael leading the community. We have in the World Union Carole Sterling leading us. And this is part of the continuity. To summarize, when the plague was over, take a census. Every voice around the round table of the World Union is important for us. Every country, every community on the field need to have a seat, and we need to hear the voice. Appoint someone over the community, leadership, continuity, education, leader training, outreaching, building communities. We need inspired individuals. And Hashem Asher Ruach Baem. And we need to lay our hands upon the new generation and our continuity. To end with my Dvar Torah, to share with you a midrash. This is the beauty of the Torah. It's not telling us stories of the past. There are the interpretation of our present, rooted in the past, but envisioned in the future. The midrash says, Moses laying his hand on Joshua may be compared to one candle lighting another. No light is lost to the former. This is the sacred light of eternal God in the Israel people. When every day, every week, every Shabbat, we lay our hands in our kids. Yesimcha Elohim k'Efraim v'Menashe. Yesimech Elohim k'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Leadership and continuity for the sake of the Jewish people around the world inside our World Union for Progressive Jewish family. Stay well, safe and healthy. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.